Bang! Welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News, a cryptocurrency blockchain aggregated news show on YouTube. It's going to be drinking. It's going to be smoking. It's going to be swearing. You've been warned. So look, here I come. 3, 2, 1. Bang! Welcome, everybody. Black, white, gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, Jew. Welcome. My name is Shomari Clarke. Welcome to Cryptocurrency Blockchain News. You are now about to witness, oh shit, the greatest show on earth. Greatest show in the multiverse. Bang! Greatest daggone show, the daggone multiverse. Bang! We have a great show for you today. All right, everybody. So look, so we're going to do things a little different today, just a little bit. So we got 2 onboardings and then another investment vehicle. Well, an infrastructure thing. So normally I don't read press releases, right? Like if a company says, "Oh, we got onboarded by so and so," I don't read that shit, right? I wait for a third party. But tonight I am actually going to read 2 press releases because it's the company saying that they've onboarded this crypto. Okay, so you'll see what I mean in a second. So IOTA and SkillaDB, bang, are gonna help with supply chain digitalization. You can't read your own writing. It's small. I wrote it small. I fucked up. I use a big marker, so I wrote too small. Settle down. I know how to write. Anyways, the second story is DTCC, and this is mega. DTC is a major mega infrastructure company when it comes to the global markets. And guess who they're linking up with? It's Chainlink to the rescue. Look, it's Chainlink to the rescue. Dang, all right. DTCC and Chainlink are going to put capital markets on chain. That's what they say they're going to do. And DTC is the type of mega corp that can do that. And then this is our sort of infrastructure story as well. Standard & Charters, one of the mega banks of the world, is going to start offering crypto custody. So you know what that means. Asset managers, hedge fund guys can custody their stuff with Standard Charter, regulated, licensed mega bank. And we're going to read about that. And then, obviously, as usual, we're going to do the shout-outs and daily summary as per usual. So let's proceed how we proceed with a bang. And then we head on over here and we do a little bit of hook. Oh, fuck, I did it again. I forgot to open the fucking web page first. And then we do a little bit of bang. And no need to refresh, since this is the freshness. All righty. Ooh, looks like a green day. You know it is. We all refreshed coin market cap all day. Price of Bitcoin, $36,748. When I left you last time, holy shiza mamba, blood clot. When I left you yesterday, we were only at 35,000. Fuck, I didn't realize we'd went up this much. So we're at $36,748. When I left you yesterday, right around this time, 2 in the morning, or so around here, we were at 35,447. So we've gone bumbleclot up. Bang. $1,301. Bang. Remember those days when we used to go up thousands of dollars a day? All right, this is good. $1,301 up. All right, so market overview. So macro, there's nothing to say. As you can see, money is already starting to come in. Like I said, it's not I think it is. I know it's from China and Europe is where we're getting all this new money from, right? Because the central banks have stopped raising rates. The boys are starting to feel frisky again. I showed some of the boys in the chat room. They're starting to pour money back into the S&P, back into the markets, which are risk assets, what's called risk assets. And so that's what's happened why we crashed, right? Because we did a thing happened called risk off, right? Global risk off. Everyone in every country, all the masters went risk off. And that's why we crashed, right? We were down to what? 27,000 on the Bitcoin or something right? Anyways, about 6 months ago or so. Anyways, and so, because of inflation and because of QT, quantitative tightening, right? Before we had QE, you print the money. Well, this is QT, you tighten the money. Those are the mechanisms that the Fed Reserve uses to give us full employment and stable prices. And anyway, and so, what was I saying? And so, but the boys are feeling good now. We reached a level, I said this yesterday, but I'll just say it quickly right now. We reached a level of interest rates where now the Fed, the Bank of England, the ECB, the European Central Bank are going to let that go for a while and see what happens with inflation, which is making the market boys feel good. Remember, market guys do not want to be risk off. They don't want to be sitting in bonds. They want to be in risk assets, which pay more money. And so that's what's happening. They're starting to trickle out. And, in Europe and China, their masters are allowed to trickle out. And so that's where we're seeing this inflow of money right now coming from. And let's just enjoy it. All right. So that's enough of macroeconomics right now. Other than that, there's nothing really else to say. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate while you can. You don't want to get priced out. Look how fast prices are going. Fucking Chainlink doubled up in 1 week already. So get your shit, get your chicken. All right, so top 10 of the day, brothers and sisters. Oh, hold on, let me get a cigarette first. Hang on. I knew something was wrong. I knew there was a disturbance in the force. Yes, there was a disturbance in the force. So my nicotine intake was minimal. All right, top 10 of the day, brothers and sisters. You know who they are, the usual suspects. Top 10, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, USD, BNB, XRP, USDC, Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin, and Toncoin, still holding on the number 10 for the second day in a row. Let's look at the market moves. Single digits up to single digits down. Bang. Pretty much single digits up unless you're... Look at Chainlink. Oh, my bumba weed. Look at Chainlink on the week. 30%. 30% on the week. Look at my mouse right here. Bang. It's Chainlink to the holy Polygon, bang, 23% up on the week. But it's Chainlink to the rescue. Look, it's Chainlink to the rescue. Always to the... Anyway, we're going to read about that. We'll sing it when we get there, brothers. Settle down now. You're having too much fun. Settle down. Oh, these Michigans having too much fun. Let's get back to work here. Single digits up, single digits down. Let's get back to work. VeChain. Yes. Come on. Keep going, brother. Keep going. Holy, a lot of double digits. There's a few double digits. Look at Ave. Just kidding, Sloppy. Ave. Bang, 11%. All right, let's check out the top 10 gainers and losers. And I want to ask you a question. What is the best part of the market overview section, this part that I do at the beginning? It's when you do the top 10, dog. No, it isn't. It's when I do the bottom 10. Because that means shit's on sale, and that's what you should go buy if it looks good. All right, so top 10 losers of the day, brothers and sisters. If you see anything here, you're like, go get it. Because look. I say it all the time. Because it's true. Because it's on sale. Let's check it out. Bang! There we go, top 10 losers. Holy, not much losses today. Oh, this is all just stablecoin shit. All right, top 10 losers. Trust Wallet token, Injective, Unicid Leo, Pax Gold, Tether Gold, BUSD, USDC, Tether USDX, Woo Network, and First Digital USD. Let's see who made money today. Everybody did, but let's see who made the most. Top 10. Bang! Holy, look at those gains. Look at those gains. Neo. Man, I used to own that shit. All right, top 10 of the game, brothers and sisters. Top 10. Mina, Neo, Blur, Pepe, Huobi Token, Sui, Gala, Ave, Theta Network, and OKB. Theta, right? We used to talk about, well, we didn't really talk about Theta, but that was a big deal for a while. All right, let's see what the total market cap is. Let's see what this total market cap is, boy. Oh, yeah. That's what we like to see, fuck sticks. New money pouring in. New money pouring in day after day. Look. Total market cap is $1.38 trillion. When I left you yesterday, we were at $1.33 trillion. So we've gone up $0.05 trillion. Let's see what the 24-hour volume is. Oh, yeah, 24-hour volume's creeping up. Yes, daily. You see, this is new money coming into this space now. Well, where do you fucking think that money is coming from? Yeah, it's coming from China and Europe. Right? Every other country, it's only soccer moms and dads, people like you and I, who can buy this shit right now, right? Mazdas here in America can't put their client money into VeChain, into Solana, into Polygon, into SingularityNet, into IOTA. Yeah, they sure can in Europe. They sure fucking can in China now, can't they? Through Hong Kong. Yeah, where do you think this money's coming from? Well, it has to come from somewhere, motherfucker. It doesn't just, it's not just magical. People have to come and buy, and that's what they're doing. So here we are. 24-hour volume is $53.42 billion. When I left you last time, and remember, I'm not even happy until we get to 100 billion again. So, I mean, but you see, you notice we're inching up. You're inching up. So let me show you over the last 3 days. Okay, so on the 6th of November, so let's start with market cap. On the 6th of November, market cap was 1.32 trillion. Then on the and then on the 7th, it was 1.33 trillion. And then today it's 1.38 trillion. Slowly going up, right? Prices are going up. More money's flowing into the space. Well, where's that money coming from? It's not soccer moms and dads. I mean, sure, of course, some people are FOMOing. Some people see the prices and are FOMOing and coming in. But this is institutional money coming out of China and Europe. And let's look at the 24-hour volume over the past 3 days. On the 6th of November, it was $40.34 billion. Then yesterday was $49.28 billion. So a $6 billion increase. And then today is $53.42 billion, which is another $4 billion increase. So we've been increasing nicely over the past 3 days at least. Since I've been doing this show 3 days in a row finally. Like I said I would, right? So we're going up nicely. Well, where do you think that money's coming from? It's not just magical. Why do you think the prices are going up? It's not just magical. Markets are supply and demand. Well, demand is coming in from somewhere. Where the fuck do you think it's coming from? Yeah, it's got to be Europe. It's got to be Asia. Well, not Asia, but China particularly. Well, or Singapore. Or Taiwan, too. Or South Korea. But anyways, but especially China, their institutions are coming. Well, they're not coming. They are here. And now they're flowing in slowly. That's where this money is coming from, right? That's a market. Right? And that's why for 5 years I've preached to you, don't fucking worry about price until the Mazdas arrive, right? What have I told you on this channel? Remember during the bloodbath of 2018, for the few of you that were here back then, I used to tell you just buy it. Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry, because we're going to blow that away. We're going to go all-time highs. We're not even close to all-time highs yet, right? Yeah, what have I always told you? Because we don't give a shit about price until regs and Mazdas arrive. Once the Mazdas arrive, well, then price is going to matter. But as long as we own a revenue-generating product, well, we're just going to see gains, right? Their analysts are going to analyze this space. And when they see the revenue generators, and since that's what's in our portfolios, well, you're going to be rich. Right? I've told you that, right? You're going to be rich. If you've been doing what this channel has been preaching about, well, you can't not make money. Let's put it that way. Are you going to be rich? I don't know how much of whatever you have. But if you have a substantial enough amount of some stuff, well, fuck. That's the outcome. You're going to be rich because there is a tsunami of money coming to this space, a tsunami of it, right? We're just seeing the first trickles. The first regulated trickles, right? We've had trickles before, but then a crushing, right? Then we got crushed, a couple times, which is fine because it just allowed us to accumulate more at a cheaper price. But now we're ready for these gains, right? Now we're ready to get rich. It's been 5 long years of this. It's time to make our money. All right, so let me get a sip and we'll go on to our stories. Actually, let me just bang the story right here. First story number 1. Bang! Here we go. Why is it taking so long for my pages to refresh? So you see what I'm saying? Skila, I'm going to call it Skila. AD is partnering with IOTA for the supply chain digitization stuff. And so, like I said, I usually don't read press releases, but I don't read them from the crypto companies. But if the company says itself that it's using IOTA, well, that's an onboarding. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, remember back in the days when Ripple said MoneyGram was using the XRapid, right? Yeah, they weren't. They were testing it, right? But Ripple made it sound as if MoneyGram was using it all over the place, which was a lie. But when MoneyGram started using Stellar, which they do worldwide, MoneyGram uses Stellar. Yeah, well, MoneyGram gives the announcement, hey, guys, we're using this new thing called Stellar. We're upgrading our technology, right? And so that's the same thing as this. Skila is the one coming out and saying, hey, guys, we're using this thing IOTA for supply chain digitization. So that's why tonight's 2 press releases are special, because it's the company saying that they're using the blockchain, right? It's not the blockchain bullshitting and saying that they're being used by a company. Meanwhile, you don't hear anything from the company, right? If you notice, that's the kind of stories I do. Like, I read third-party news, but usually we'll hear from the CEO of the blockchain, and then we'll hear from the CEO of the onboarded company, right? All right, well, this is directly from the onboarded company, Skila, in this case for IOTA. And let me get a sip and wash it down, and we'll proceed. You know how be IOTA hodlers, bang! You know how IOTA be. You know how IOTA do. You know how IOTA get down. So let's check it out. And for those of you who don't know, well, I'm about to show you, fuckstick. Settle down. So look, the IOTA Foundation, the organization behind the IOTA open source distributed ledger technology, envisions a future where every single trade item in the global supply chain is tracked and its provenance sourced using distributed ledgers. Bang. This vision is already becoming a reality in East Africa, thanks to the collaboration of the IOTA Foundation and Trademark East Africa. So you remember we read about that? They've been working on that Trademark East Africa thing. Fuck, it's probably been around 2 years now, so it sounds like it's actually up and running now. Because remember when we read about it back in, I think it was even like 2020. Maybe like Q4 2020, right? End of Q4 2020, beginning of Q1 2021, right? And they started this thing with the East Africa trademark thing. And so now it sounds like it's actually up and running. So, because, companies start things sometimes, but they don't follow through, right? Sometimes things fall apart, deals fall apart. But like I said, this one is still ongoing. So these organizations teamed up to address the challenge of digitizing the export process for Kenya's flour exports, airliners, and freight forwarders. TMEA found that for just a single transaction, an African entrepreneur was completing an average of 200 communications. Remember I told you about my uncles? My family, we're Jamaican. We own a lot of land, and we export mangoes and sugarcane to America, Canada, and Britain. Yeah, well, it's a fucking pain in the ass. And look at it. It's the same shit with these guys. Well, it's the same everywhere. I mean, let's get real. It's everywhere in the world, right? Just to get one shipment out of whatever it is, 200 communications with this department, this head, sign this paper, sign that paper, blah, 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 this lawyer, that lawyer, this bill of landing, that bill of landing, blah, blah, blah. And then go through the process again with the country that you want to send the products to. This department, that department, this bureau, that bureau, right? Including 96 paper documents, right? That's what it takes to get shit out of countries and onto your food table. Trust me. My family goes through that shit. I hear the stories all the time, but this is going to solve that problem. So the system, and which is a problem, right? This is not a solution looking for a problem. This is a fucking problem. And fuck, finally someone is coming up with a solution. Trust me, since I was a child, I've heard the horror stories of just getting mangoes to America. Okay? Just getting mangoes to America. Trust me. I've said it on this channel a few times. You know, the mangoes you get, yeah, those were picked 6 months ago because that's how long it fucking takes to get that shipment to you, to your store. All right, so so you see what I'm saying? That's why this is a problem that finally has a solution. The system developed by the IOTA Foundation and TMEA anchors the key trade documents on the Tango, a new type of distributed ledger technology that's different than traditional blockchain model. So I'm not going to get into the Tango too much, but the Tango is far superior to any blockchain. It is infinitely scalable. It is almost feeless, and it is absolutely secure, right? All the problems that blockchain has, the Tango has the exact opposite. You can put more and more nodes and devices and whatever on the Tango, and it just gets stronger, right? Infinite scalability. All right, so anyways, but that's all I'm going to say about that. And shares them with customers in destination countries. This expedites, in other words, this makes faster the export process. Holy, I'm going to tell my uncles about this. And makes African companies more competitive globally. Exactly. If I don't have to go through fucking 4 months of paperwork to get fucking mangoes just a couple 100 miles to the next country over here, that's sweet. That's beautiful. What's behind this initiative from a technology? What's behind this initiative from a technology perspective? That's what Jose Manuel Cantera, technical analyst and project lead at IOTA Foundation, recently shared from a bird's eye view. It involves using EPIC 2.0 data serialization formats for data interoperability. All right, so this is some nerd talk here. IOTA distributed ledgers to register every single event happening within supply chains. Yes. Scala DB, NoSQL for scalable, resilient, persistent storage. Let's dive into the details with a closer look. With a close look at two specific use cases: cross-border trade, import-export, and end-to-end supply chain traceability. But first, Cantera's perspective on the technical challenges. All right, we're not going to get too much into this nerd talk here, right? So and if you want, obviously, if you do want to read like the full article, I have the links to every article in the description of the video below, so you can read that yourself. All right, we're going to just go to the use cases of this thing. So use case number 1, cross-border trade. Shipping mangoes from Jamaica to America, right? Cross-border trade. For his first example, Cantera turns to cross-border trade operations. This is a multi-layered domain, and there are many different problems that have to be solved in different places. He warns before sharing a diagram that reins in the enormous complexity of the situation. Exactly. You see this bullshit? Hold on. Where's that? Sorry, guys. Yeah, look at all this shit. That's all the shit you got to do to get a shipment from the exporting company here on the left to the importing company or country, sorry, not company, but the company in the country, but you know what I mean? All that bullshit, right? That's the kind of crap you got to go through to get a mango on the fucking table of soccer mom and dad. So the key flows here are the financial procedures, the pure financial transaction between the two parties, the trade procedures, any kinds of documents related to the commercial transaction, the transportation procedures, all the details about transporting the goods, so, you know, renting the crate and everything, putting it on a ship and everything, and then the regulator procedures, the many different documents that must be exchanged between importers and exporters, as well with the public authorities in the business to government relationships. It's a whole hassle. should we read all this? Hold on. So that's the thing. All right, let's just read this for a second. So how is the IOTA Foundation working to optimize this complex and multi-layered domain? Cantera explains, we're allowing different actors, different government agencies, and the private actors, the traders, to share documents and to verify documents in one shot. Exactly, if you could do it in one shot. Remember, I was preaching about the smart contracts yesterday or the day before, right? Just fuck, right? I can just beep, beep, beep. You know, I might have to get a few pieces of paper signed here or there, but fuck. So whenever consignment moves between East Africa and Europe, all the trade certificates, all the documents can be verified in one shot by the different actors, so by the different bureaus, the different agencies, the different inspectors, the different this, the different that. And the authenticity and the provenance of the documents can be traced properly. In other words, you know that this is a legit document. So that's also going to cut down on fraud, right? So, and as a result, the agility of the trade processes is improved. It's more efficient and more effective, which is great. We want supply chains to flow. So all the actors in the flow visualized above are sharing the documents through infrastructure provided by the IOTA distributed ledger. There we go. Bang! The infrastructure is going to be provided by IOTA, baby. Hold on. Let me touch it. Bang! 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 Yeah. Exactly. Coming out of Africa, baby. Coming out of Africa. Using an architecture that's detailed after the second use case below. Oh. So let's check out the second use case below. Only this article's a long one. We're going to read this use case. We'll probably skip to the end after this. Use case number 2, end-to-end supply chain traceability. So from the time the cow is born to the time it ends up on someone's plate, it's traced. Right? VeChain does the same thing. We just read... who do we read here doing that as well? Right. Who is doing that? I think Amazon and Solana or something. I don't remember. Anyway, look, let's just move on. But there's a couple more of these, and the blockchain is perfect for that. No one can trick it. No one can lie. You can't enter false documents. So little things like illegal arms trade, right? For these arms dealers that are selling, guns and shit on the black market. Yeah, well, you're not going to be able to do that with this, right? Right. You're not going to be able to call a shipment of guns a shipment of potatoes anymore, right? Because there's going to be provenance. If you can't prove that those potatoes were grown somewhere, then the customs inspector are going to be like, wow, we're pretty sure there's not potatoes in this container. Let's open it up and inspect it. Anyways, that's, but that's a use case right there. So look, but in addition to tackling document sharing and verification for cross-border trade, there's another challenge, tracing the provenance of the trade item. So that's what I meant, right? Like if you can't prove, like if I say this is a shipment of potatoes, right, and with this kind of thing right here, the customs inspector will be able to call it up and see the potatoes were grown there, they were processed there, and they're being shipped from here to here, da-da-da-da-da. But if I say, yeah, this is a shipment of potatoes, but you can't prove that, well, where'd you get the potatoes from? Right? What farm did you get them from? A provenance. In other words, where did they start? Well, we know that in this container, there ain't no fucking potatoes. You get it? All right. So it will give it traceability. So let's go on, though. So you're actually tracing the provenance. Provenance means sort of the proof. Like in the art world, you have what's called provenance, right? Because there's a lot of counterfeit art. So you have these certificates that prove this is a Mona Lisa, this is a Michelangelo, this is a Banksy, whatever, right? It's got what's called a provenance certificate, right? In the art world. And so they're going to just do this with everything. They're going to make provenance. Yeah, show me where you got those potatoes from. Or I'm opening this container, and I bet I'm going to find some guns and grenades in this bitch. right? Provenance, you got to show. So that'll help stop crime as well. So Cantera emphasizes that when we think about traceability, we need to think about the definition of traceability given by the United Nations. The ability to, so this is the definition by the United Nations. Traceability is the ability to identify and trace the history, the distribution, location, and application of products, parts, and materials to ensure the reliability of sustainability claims in the areas of human rights, labor, including health and safety, the environment, and anti-corruption. So that's the other thing that these things are going to do, is you're going to help with these sort of areas of human rights, labor. You know, you're going to have to show that you're not using slave labor to, I don't know, grow those bananas or whatever, coming out of whatever country or something, right? That you're not destroying the environment by mining for that gold, right? So it also has that kind of humanitarian aspect to it as well. So in principle, traceability implies the ability to follow history, right? Where did the shit come from? Like I said, if I tell the guy at the port this is a shipment of potatoes, all right, show me, right? In the case of trade items, potatoes, in terms of our fantasy gun runner, this means knowing what has been happening with that particular trade item, not only its transportation, but also its origin. Exactly. Where did you get these potatoes, you motherfucker? They were grown in Scotland and da-da-da. Oh, okay. And they'll be able to trace it because it's on the blockchain, right? But if you're just like, trust me, there's potatoes in there. Like, look, dog, you got some guns in there, right? Some black market guns. We're going to open this and we're going to inspect it. So if one of the parties involved in the supply chain is making a claim about sustainability, safety, etc., the validity of that claim must be verifiable. So here's how it looks. All right. For example, consider a seemingly, oh, that's fucked up. So check this out. For example, consider a seemingly simple bag of potato chips. A farmer sells potatoes to a food processor who turns those potatoes into a bag of potato chips. When growing the potato, the farm used a fertilizer, which was produced by another manufacturer and contained raw materials from a different farmer. And when converting potatoes into potato chips, the food processor uses oils that stem from yet another source, and so on and so on. The history of all these things, the potato, the fertilizer, the oil, the bag containing the chips, and so on, needs to be known for traceability on that bag of potato chips. Everything. Yes, everything. So, for instance, I look at it from the sort of the crime fighting. I look at it for the ease of use, import, export, but I also look at it from the crime fighting perspective. There's a lot of counterfeit medication in the world. Yeah, well, if you say, yeah, this is a shipment of OxyContin, well, prove it's real. You're going to have the provenance to prove it, right? So counterfeit, women's fashion. Women's fashion gets counterfeited all the time. Counterfeit, all sorts of counterfeit shit. You're going to have to prove it, right? So all these details from when the potatoes were harvested to what fertilizer they used, where that fertilizer came from, and so forth, are all considered critical events. And each of these critical tracking events has key data elements that describe who, what, when, where, why, and even how. Bang! You guys remember I showed you on here when Walmart started using VeChain for the traceability thing? Remember I showed that video? Well, I showed two videos of VeChain traceability, right? I showed you the video of the Chinese lady buying that pork chop, right? And she was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling like it told everything about that fucking pig, right? What they fed it, where it was born, when they slaughtered it, what factory it was in, all the shit. And that other one about the Penfolds, the wine, and it told everything about the wine, right? Where the grapes were grown, when they were picked, when they were fermented, when they were crushed, blah, 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 all this shit about wine, right? That's what they're talking about. All right. How much more is this? Oh, are we almost done? Fuck. All right, so look. All right, let's just hurry up, though. Let's just read this and hurry up. The IOTA Foundation applied several core technologies to address the top technical challenges across these use cases: data interoperability, scalability, data stores, scalability, permissionless, feeless, distributed ledger technology, which is their tangle. So let's just get to the tangle part. And again, like I said, if you really do want to nerd out and geek out and read all this, the link is in the description to the video. I'm just not going to bore everyone because I'm boring myself. I'm boring myself. On here, we don't read about the tech of stuff. We talk about it, but we don't get into it all. Scalable data stores. So, blah, blah, blah. These guys are going to store the data. If we're tracking every single item in the supply chain, we need to store a lot of data, and this is a big data problem. And here, Scalab DB provides many advantages. We can scale our data very easily. We can keep the data for a long period of time at a fine granularity level. Not only that, but we can also combine the best of the NoSQL and SQL worlds because we can have robust schemes for having robust data and trusted data. So IOTA is going to be the tool that's going to create the data, and these guys are the ones that are going to store that data so you can call it up. So like back into my description of the customs inspectors, the border inspectors, they'll be able to call up that data and see it, right? And it'll come from these guys. All right. I got it. Let's just move on. All right. So look. Scalable, permissionless, feeless, distributed ledger technology. So scalable, permissionless, and feeless distributed ledger technology also played a key role in the solution that the IOTA Foundation architected. For this, they tapped the IOTA distributed ledger in combination with protected storages like IPFS to provide the functionalities around data and document verifiability, auditability, and immutability within these peer-to-peer interactions. So, right, all that's going to be on the tangle. You can verify the documents, you can audit the documents, and they're immutable, obviously, because once they're on the blockchain, no one can change them, so you can't get scammed. All right, so here's a good example, actually. So let's look at, here's a real-world use case, all right. Oh, let me get a sip, let me light a smoke. So, I mean, IOTA is amazing like this, right? And this is the same thing VeChain does. Right, end to end. I just talked to you about it, right? Like the pork chop at the Walmart thing we looked at. And so this is the same thing. So if you guys were around back in those days when I did those shows, it's the same thing. But this looks like kind of on a more macro level, right? VeChain seems to work with specific companies in terms of like, okay, Penfolds, you're using us for your traceability, or Walmart made those companies use VeChain for the traceability. But it looks like this is kind of a more macro thing where it would be more, I mean, I don't know. We're going to read on. I haven't read this article yet, but like what I just said, this looks like something that more a customs agent would use, at the borders, where, it doesn't matter what product is being bought or sold or going through that checkpoint at that border crossing, it'll have the provenance. And if not, well, we're going to fucking inspect this cargo, right? We're going to inspect this shipment right here. Is the ultimate goal. So let's read an example. For example, say you hire a particular transporter to move goods. When the activity begins, the transporter can generate an event that the trade items have started moving through the supply chain. So remember I was telling you about my uncle. He could put a GPS tracker in the shipment of containers. The transporter picks up the container and it generates an event that the items are starting to move through the supply chain. And these events are committed to the IOTA distributed ledger. More specifically, the originator of the event generates a transaction on the distributed ledger. And that transaction can be later used by any participant in the supply chain to verify the authenticity of the event. So that would be my uncle, right? So getting a shipment of mangoes out of Jamaica. He would originate the event. I am now, boop, shipping, right? And obviously, there would be provenance on the mangoes, right? That they were grown on the Clarke family farm in this part of Jamaica, blah, 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 right? And anyone can verify and authenticate all that. And once the event is committed, the originator can no longer modify it. That's the blockchain. You can't modify shit. So you can't scam, pay someone to, hey, man, can you write this on this document? No, it's there, right? It's there and it's final, right? So, like I said, the blockchain is really going to help, stop a lot of crime in the world, like I said, fake medicine, right? Around the world in the third world, a lot of people go to doctors and they're getting medicine that they think is helping them. It's fucking a sugar pill. Or not a sugar pill, but it's just a piece of bullshit. It's not, there's no medicine in it. Or some of them have like a 1/10 of the dosage. So if it's a 20 milligram pill, it'll only have 2 milligrams of whatever the fuck, chemical is in there that is supposed to help them, right? So that's a big deal, and it'll be stuff like that. You won't be able to fake it, right? You're going to have to show the provenance, right? It's going to be traced from the lab. So what's a company? Bayer. Right, Bayer Labs, they make, don't they make aspirin, I think, right? They're the ones who make aspirin. So whenever a shipment of aspirin, it's headache medication, like a Tylenol or something, or like a Tylenol, when they make the aspirin, that aspirin will be tracked. This is the aspirin batch number 123. It'll be tracked into this shipment, into this container, and it'll be tracked when it gets to the border. The border guards will look at it, be like, yes, this is authentic medicine from Bayer, and bring it into their country to sell to their citizens. Whereas a fake, so now if someone wants to counterfeit medicine, how are you going to get it through customs if everything's got provenance? Right? You won't be able to do it because you don't have the Bayer licensing, the Bayer thing, Bayer will have some sort of thing that will authenticate that this is a Bayer product, right? So they're not going to have that. So they're not going to be able to ship that kind of shit anymore. All right, so, and that's a big deal, a lot of people, like I said, millions of people around the world every day, they're taking medicine that is not even medicine. It's just a fucking sugar pill. It's a bullshit pill. What do you call a placebo, right? It's a placebo. It looks the same. It's got the labeling on the package, but that's about all that's the same. Because inside, there's hardly any medicine, if any at all. It's a big deal. So I'm a humanitarian, motherfucker. I want people to be well. Anyways, more specifically, the originator of the event generates a transaction on the distributed ledger. And that transaction, so, again, like the originator of the event. So that would be Bayer, makes the pills. They originate the event. So, okay, so blah, blah, blah. And once the event is committed, the originator can no longer modify it. If the event was modified, the verification step would fail, and the supply chain partners might be understandably concerned. Yeah, and that's when the cops come in. What's this fake bullshit doing here? So how it fits together, again, you can go to the link in the description and blah, blah, blah. So the conclusion of all this. So supply chain digitization is rife with technical challenges, so it's not surprising that a non-traditional mix of technologies is required to meet the IOTA Foundation's highly specialized needs. Kantara sums it up nicely. He says, it requires interoperability. Hold on one second. Okay. He says, It requires interoperability, which means it's important to align with the open standards, EPCIS 2.0, the decentralized ID coming from the W3C verifiable credentials. So these are new, you guys know, all these new standards are coming into place now because of blockchain and because of FATF and, just because of the digitization of stuff. Like, what's that one? There's one everyone's talking about. What's it called? Hold on, let me look 1 second. Because actually I have it here. Right? That one standard that everyone, all the crypto people are gung-ho about is, it's called ISO 20022, ISO 20022. Right? That's that big one, right? That's the new standard that's coming out. And so the blockchains, we're going to read this story tomorrow, actually, but I'll give you a little hint. VeChain, Cardano, Stellar, Verg, and Algorand are ISO 20022 compliant and ready to conquer the $1 trillion international payments market. So, bang! And actually, that's what I'm going to read for you tomorrow. So there's a teaser. Stick around for tomorrow. All right, but back to today. So these are all the sort of things, the new standards that are coming out, right? And, these guys are already prepared for these standards and the verifiable credentials and whatnot that you need. So it requires a reference architecture to guarantee that semantic interoperability and some reusable building blocks are used. It requires decentralization, and decentralizing data requires distributed ledger technology. In particular, public, permissionless, and feeless distributed layers like IOTA complemented with IPFS and relying more and more on decentralized application. It also requires data scalability, which we talked about a second ago. IOTA is infinitely scalable, and availability. And SkylaDB is the perfect partner here. Last but not least, it requires a trusted data sharing technologies like decentralized IDs, distributed ledger technologies, and peer-to-peer. So look, IOTA. Oh, and there's a little video down here. So it looks like you can go to the, click the link. I'm going to put the link in the description. If you want to watch the video of it, it's the Skyla Summit 2022, so last year, but sustainable and scalable supply chains. All right, so there you go. IOTA hodlers, look. Bang! Holy, it was a long time to get to that bang. Holy, you had to scroll up that motherfucker. All right. But anyways, that's awesome, right? And that's the same thing VeChain does, right? It's provenance from the beginning to the end, right? A bottle of wine. Okay, well, when did those grapes come out? When were they harvested? When were they squished into juice? When were they turned into wine? How long was the fermenting process? Where were they kept? In what temperature was this wine kept? Blah, 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 blah. We watched a lady do it. If you go to my videos and search VeChain, right, you'll see every video that I made with VeChain and look for VeChain's penfolds. And you'll see, and there's a video, and the lady is scrolling all the shit about the fucking wine. And, people take that wine thing seriously, right? Like, if you're paying $5,000 for a bottle of wine, wow, you've got to really be a wine master. You got to be a real wine lover and rich. And so they want to know, right? Where were these grapes grown? They want to know everything. And so that's the kind of thing. And so that VeChain does. And like I said, more on a company-to-company level. And this thing, IOTA here, this thing looks more like a bigger, sort of like what governments would use. Like I said, like at a port of entry. A port of entry, a border crossing. Yes, where's the shipment from? And they'll scan it, beep, and they'll either be provenance or won't. And if there's no provenance, all right, open it up. Let's check out what's in this motherfucker, right? So great for IOTA hodlers. Bang, another onboarding. All right, let's move on. Bang, bringing capital markets on chain with DTCC and CHAINLINK. So CHAINLINK to the rescue. It's Chainlink to the rescue. Chainlink to the rescue once again, folks. Chainlink to the rescue once a fucking again. All right. So this article doesn't look so long, so let's get... All right, so DTCC, I should tell you who they are. First of all, they are a megacorp in terms of behind-the-scenes infrastructure. Like how you get your stocks, how you get your bonds, how you get your swaps, your futures contracts, all that. Well, these guys provide the infrastructure for that. Okay? There's a lot, when you fire up your E-Trade account or your Charles Schwab account, yeah, well, there's 100 other companies behind that making it so that when you buy your Tesla shares, you own them, right? A lot goes on. Holy fuck, I don't want to get into all that, but a lot goes on, and DTCC is one of the major one of those. And we'll read about it here. We'll read about it. Let me get a sip and we'll move on. Like, these guys are infrastructure, right? They're not a bank. They're not a hedge fund or any kind of thing like that. These are the guys that provide all the services to the banks and the hedge funds and that so that the markets can work, right? These are mega in that. These are the Microsoft of that. Or DTCC is the Microsoft of that. A mega. And they're using what? Chainlink to the rescue. Look, it's Chainlink to the rescue. Always to the rescue. It's Chainlink to the rescue. Chainlink to the fucking rescue. And that's why, Chainlink doubled up this week. Well, I'm telling you right now, when these Mostas, when their analysts see Chainlink, oh my gosh. I told you my price target for Chainlink is $142. That'll make them a $60 billion company. Are they worth more than that? You're fucking right. They are a lot more. Chainlink is going to be like a $300, $400, $500 token one day. And not long. Like, I'm not saying next year, but trust me, man, that shit. When the analysts see that, right, 90% of DeFi is Chainlink. All right, but let's move on. And shit like this, remember this. Chainlink partnered with Swift. Now, it's just a test, but Swift is using Chainlink. Right? What was it to transact with CBDCs and stablecoins worldwide, right? Between, central banks and between, the big boys, like the big dogs, central banks and stuff like that. All right, so remember that. Chainlink they're the masters. They are the masters. If you own Chainlink, I'm not telling you what to buy. This is only my opinion. This is not financial advice. But trust me, if you own Chainlink, don't be afraid to get more. But I'm priced out. You're not priced out yet. Look, I'm not telling you're not priced out. You know when you're priced out, but trust me. Every penny you put into Chainlink, every dollar you put in will make you $10 more at least. So anyways, though, let's read about this. It is increasingly clear that blockchain technology is likely here to stay, with 97% of institutional investors anticipating tokenization will evolve asset management processes and $100 trillion worth of assets in the U.S. that could someday move on-chain, right? Like, one innovation, I've never said this before, but one innovation that this whole blockchain space has done is, these tokens that we buy, they're really just shares in a company, right? Shomari, man, these aren't securities. They are securities. What else are they, you fucking idiot? What are they? They're securities. Token circulating supply times value equals market cap, fuckstick. Well, that's a stock. And what's cool is that the blockchain is going to allow us to, let me put it this way. I'm just going to say something like this. 5 years from now, you might be able to hold your Tesla shares on your ledger in Nano. Okay? Like that. Yeah. Like you have 10-year American bonds. Bang. You'll be able to hold them on your ledger. And when you want to trade them, you hook your ledger up to your broker, and trade them. Just like how you do with crypto right now, right? I wanna move a little VeChain around, or I want to move a little whatever around. I hook my ledger up, and then I fire up whatever wallet or whatever kind of little website, and it interacts with it. Yeah, that's how you'll have the option to do that. You won't have to do that. A lot of soccer moms and dads aren't going to want to do that. That's an extra hassle, but you'll be able to do that. And so that whole thing about like being your own bank, well, you won't be your own bank, but you will have your portfolio in your hands, right? Like your ledger. Here's my ledger. Imagine this is a ledger. Yeah, I'll have my fucking my stocks on it, my crypto on it. Maybe if I'm a futures contract guy, I'll have my futures contracts on it. Maybe if I'm trading ETFs, I'll have my ETF stocks on it. Not stocks, but, whatever ETF, like that. Right? And you'll have your investment life in your hands, literally. Right? That's what tokenization is. Right? You're going to tokenize your Tesla shares. So, my shares will be right here. Not that you should be worried about, people stealing your stocks or anything, but you could, right? Like you could, you have your fucking whole investment portfolio on your ledger. Yeah, and then you move to Europe. Yeah, well, I don't have to fucking open up, I don't have to do all this other bullshit. I just open an account, plug in my ledger, and bleep, there I go, right? We'll see how it goes in the future. I mean, this is futuristic shit I'm talking about, obviously. But it is what's happening, right? I mean, let me remind you, this is about, tokenizing regular markets. Okay, so let's move on. So, right, the anticipating of tokenization. Right, I told you. I used to tell you, tokenize your baby. Bang, barcode right on its booty when it's born. So anyways, though, I like that story. Anyways, so all this $100 trillion could move on chain. Rather than embarking on a wholesale rebuild of existing capital markets infrastructure, financial institutions are increasingly collaborating with innovative Web3 technology platforms like Chainlink to explore how capabilities can be embedded into their existing systems where possible, to accelerate the real-world impact of the blockchain technology in the global financial system. Our exploration in this space started with our collaboration work with Chainlink as part of Swift's interoperability project. So this was the thing I was telling you about. Chainlink partnered with Swift. Swift is testing in how to have all these different CBDCs and in the future tokenized assets flowing through the system, right? And they were using Chainlink to do it. All right, well, actually, let's read right here. It looks like it. DTCC and Chainlink collaborate on Swift's blockchain interoperability project. Now, I know this is getting really down in the weeds, right? If you're here just for crypto, well, there ain't no more crypto. I mean, this is crypto because this is how your market's going to be built. But if you don't want to hear the geeky stuff, just fuck off. I'll see you next video. I love you, man. Bang! So look, as a premier financial market infrastructure provider, DTCC automates and standardizes the process of financial transactions, mitigating risk, increasing transparency, enhancing performance, and driving efficiency for thousands of brokers and dealers, custodian banks, and asset managers around the world. They are the backbone. Well, one of the backbones of all this infrastructure. Right? Custody, you have to have custody. Yeah, but how does custody work? Yeah, through shit like DTCC. One of the cornerstones of success for DTCC and other financial market infrastructure providers, FMIs, like Swift, right? Swift is a backbone of sending money from one bank to another, right? It's just how it is. Well, that's what DTCC is, but not for money, but for different shit, right? But it's at that level, right? The high-end level. like SWIFT, has been the establishment of industry standards that allow a multitude of financial institutions operating on disparate systems and in different jurisdictions to conduct business in a secure and efficient manner. Right? Bang! That's what SWIFT does. A bank in Nigeria can send a wire transfer to a bank in Brazil. A bank in Brazil can send a wire transfer to a bank in even Iran, right? A bank in Iran can send a wire transfer to France, right? That's it's a global system. It's global, baby. And I want you all to read the book, One World, Ready or Not, by William Greider, and you'll understand what you're getting into here. So SWIFT projects explored standardization and blockchain interoperability by showcasing how financial institutions and FMIs can utilize their existing SWIFT connection in combination with Chainlink. So you see, this is the project here. They're showing how they can utilize the existing SWIFT connection in combination with Chainlink to instruct the transfer of tokenized assets across public and private blockchains. So, bang, tokenized assets. Right? So tokenized Tesla shares, tokenized Microsoft shares, tokenized BMW shares, tokenized whatever shares, Chainlink CCIP was used on the back end by SWIFT to facilitate secure cross-chain messaging and token transfers. But I thought Ripple was going to do that. Get the fuck out of here. But Chainlink is. While DTCC served as a token issuer and central securities depository. So they deposit them and then they shifted them around, basically is what they're saying, on Chainlink. Well, sorry, on SWIFT, but using the Chainlink messaging, using Chainlink to do that, right? Because SWIFT is a messaging system. Anyway, though, but more specifically, DTCC minted and issued bond tokens. Oh, fuck. Compatible with Chainlink CCIP and distributed them to SWIFT's designated test wallets. So, right, it was just a test. Explore the SWIFT interoperability project in more detail in the new report, Connecting Blockchains, Overcoming Fragmentation, and Tokenized Assets. That's the future, right? Like I said, you're going to have your Tesla shares, your Microsoft shares, your Facebook, your Amazon shares on a ledger one day. And you'll plug into when you go to your, your Charles Schwab account or your TD Ameritrade account, you'll plug in your ledger, right? Like kind of how we do now, right? We plug in the ledger and then we get to fuck with the wallets. It's going to be the same, right? Your stocks, your bonds, and all that shit will be on a ledger. And the Charles Schwab TD Ameritrade will just be a user interface to distribute, sell, buy, sell, just like Coinbase, right? You go on there, you buy, sell, da-da-da. Yeah, it'll be like that. That's the vision anyway. That's what they're talking about here. Right? So our involvement in SWIFT's blockchain interoperability project underscores our commitment to staying at the forefront of FMI innovation and creating new opportunities for our clients to optimize their financial operations and achieve new value via digital technologies. Overview of how Chainlink CCIP interfaces with existing infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. So here's the flow chart. If you want to read it, go ahead. How much more of this? All right. Unlocking capital market interoperability. So let's read. So in recent years, it's become increasingly clear that FMIs like DTCC can play key roles in delivering robust connectivity to and across blockchains. Our desire to explore this capability led to a series of conversations with the Chainlink Labs team around how CCIP could potentially serve as a universal gateway. Universal gateway. Right? Let that sink in. For interacting with blockchains for new and existing back-end systems, right? This is all the back-end shit. This is what makes it so you can buy a Tesla share and you get it in your account, right? This is all that back-end stuff. It's not the sexy stuff, but this is what makes a market work. And and for Chainlink hodlers, look at the level of mastas that are using and trying to develop things with Chainlink here. Fuck DTCC, fucking Swift. Yeah, we're talking global, baby. We're talking global. I mean, look, Chainlink already provides 90% of data feeds for fucking DeFi. Yeah, well, that's just little crypto shit. Swift, DTCC, this is the real world shit. The big boy shit. If you're a Chainlink hodler, I cannot tell you how happy you should be as I read this story to you right now. I know it's nerdy. It's not sexy. But if you know what Swift is and what DTCC is, trust me, it doesn't get sexier than this. It doesn't get sexier than this. This is the chicken. Bang! Right? You're even going to get a bang even before the story's over. So look, let's wrap this puppy up here. Blah, 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 to preserve a universally gateway for interacting with blockchains for new existing backend systems. Following the successful collaboration on the Swift project, right? Listen to these names. Swift and DTCC. These are the biggest of the big when it comes to how money just flows around the world and just how all of this stuff connects. Right? And remember this. I want you to remember what I'm reading to you. Right? This is a DTCC article. Right? This is the company itself writing about Chainlink. Right? This isn't Chainlink or some third-party bullshit little crypto website, kind of hyping the news or something. No, this is DTCC's website. Look right up here. Hold on. Can you see this? Oh, you can't see that. But trust me, it says DTCC.com and then the article name. This is the company itself bragging about Chainlink. That's what you want. Right? Remember back in the days, brothers, when Microsoft and Fujitsu was bragging about IOTA? That's what you want. Right? You don't want IOTA bragging about itself. You want to hear other companies bragging about IOTA. Well, that's what's happening here. Right? This isn't Chainlink bragging about themselves and how they could help a market. This is DTCC saying, fuck, we're using Chainlink to help get this shit rolling. Do you guys understand what I'm saying, right? The importance of what I'm reading to you here. And Chainlink hodlers, in my opinion, don't be afraid to accumulate. Just the opinions of the presenter. This is not financial advice. And so, look, okay, where were we? Like, that's how excited I am. Like, I had to break that down so you get what you're reading here. If you are a Chainlink hodler, the biggest of the big back-end infrastructure boys are using, testing, and will use, and are bragging about the possibility of using Chainlink. That's global infrastructure, global financial infrastructure, guys. So look, all right, let's wrap this puppy up. As infrastructure leaders in the intersection, so I'm down over here. As infrastructure leaders in the intersection of capital markets and blockchain technology, the collaboration between DTCC and Chainlink opens the door to a multitude of use cases that could redefine how the financial industry operates. Blockchain technology is beginning to yield results related to efficiency, liquidity, and transparency in financial markets. But interoperability continues to be an area of opportunity and need. Well, that's the beauty of Chainlink. Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of fucking blockchain you have. Chainlink will serve the chicken. All right? It doesn't matter. You need data on that, you little fuckstick? Settle down. I'm Chainlink. I got you. Right? It doesn't matter. That's interoperability. I said it from the street kind of point of view, but that's interoperability. You know what I mean? Right? Chainlink says, don't worry about it, fuckstick. I got you. So look, we look forward to working with Chainlink to uncover new opportunities to propel the digital asset ecosystem to the benefit of market participants and the broader industry. So bang! So there you go, brothers. Look! And if you want to watch a video about it, here you go. There's a video at the, like I said, in the description of this longer video, I've got the links for these stories, and you can come on down. And Chainlink hodlers, trust me, you want to watch that shit. Bang! DTC is a mega, as we just read, infrastructure. Right? And they're talking about, they can already see the future. What's the future? Tokenization of assets. Like I said, you're going to have your Tesla, your Google shares and whatever, along with your crypto, and along with your futures contracts, your bonds, whatever, on a fucking ledger. If you want. I mean, obviously, if you want to. So, bang! Chainlink hodlers, bang, hook, bang, hook. Yes, bang. Yes. All right, let's move on to the last one here. Right, let's move on to the last one. Oh, yeah, it's the custody. All right, so this again is infrastructure. If you know what custody is, when you're buying stocks and shit, I'm not going to get into a big thing. Don't worry, guys. For you guys who know, but if you're new to this channel, you don't know. For instance, when you open an E-Trade account or a Charles Schwab account, right at home to buy your stocks, and you buy Tesla shares. Well, when you buy Tesla shares, they're not just in some, they're not just with your bank. In fact, your bank is not even hodling that for you, right? Your bank employs what's called a custodian. They hire, bang, custody services. So your shares are actually in some server farm in Austin, Texas somewhere, which is connected to all the other custody server farms, and they trade the data of who owns what, right? That's how your broker knows that you own this, because your custody, it's in your custody, of the custody service of your broker, right? And so, okay, so you get it now, right? Your shares aren't at your local fucking bank, right? They're not even probably in your state. Fuck, they might not even be in your country. You know what I mean? They could be on a server farm in Greenland. You know what I mean? Like, that's where your shares are technically at, on some server somewhere. All right. And so anyways, though, but Standard Charters is going to launch crypto custody. And so Standard Charters is a mega bank, well, sort of a mega institution. So they're going to offer custody services for institutional investors. So this goes to the theme now of this channel of investment vehicles, but not just investment vehicles, but infrastructure, right? Infrastructure so masters can do what masters got to do. If I'm a fund manager, I need to custody that shit, right? If I'm a fund manager, well, a fund is a basket of assets. You have a basket and you put shit in it. Yeah, well, the shit you put in it, you got to custody somewhere. You got to hodl it somewhere, right? A motherfucker doesn't have a fund and the shit is on a ledger. No, it's in a custody service. Yeah, like I said, like in Austin, Texas, in fucking Wyoming, right? If you're American, or, if you're in Germany, it's fucking some little village somewhere on the Polish border or something, right? The server farm, right? That's where your shit is actually at, right? That's who has the record of your possession of said asset. Okay, let's put it that way, right? So when you buy a futures contract, the futures contract isn't at your bank next door. It's being recorded on a server farm in, Alaska, wherever, right? All right, so you get it, right? That's custody. That's where your assets are actually documented to be held by you. For instance, you sell a Tesla share. Well, you're selling it to another person, right? It's not just magical. Someone has to be buying Tesla shares for your Tesla shares to go. And all those custody services talk to each other. Their computers do. And so, say Shomari, I have an account in this custody, and I'm selling Tesla shares. Well, some fucker over here wants to buy Tesla shares, and we're both using TD Ameritrade, or we're both using Charles Schwab. All right, well, all their computers talk to each other, and my computer sells it to that guy and then transfers the value to me, right? That's custody. And then you got to think about there's thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of servers doing that. That's how we keep track of who the fuck owns what, right? How do you think someone knows that you have that contract, the futures contract, right? Yeah, well, it's in some custody somewhere, and that custody thing, when you sell it, it's because someone else is buying it in another custody, and beeps, it gets transferred, right? That's custody. That's the importance. I mean, you guys who have been here with me, you know I used to beat you over the head with custody. But if you're new to this channel and you just don't know, that's how a market really works, right? All these assets, your Tesla, your Microsoft, your Facebooks, your bonds, your stocks, your derivatives, your ETFs, those are all on servers. And those servers are just keeping a note of Mrs. Johnson owns 1,000 Tesla shares, 10,000 Microsoft shares, 3 Bitcoins, and a futures contract. Yeah, some server knows that about you, right? When you buy or sell, it transmits that. You get it? I know, this isn't the sexy stuff. This isn't the sexy, but it's how it all works. And I want you all to know how it all works, right? Because when you know how something works, well, then you become a master. Well, or at least you're on your way. So look, let's start reading this story now. Standard Chartered to launch crypto custody service for institutional investors next year. So these are for the institutions. Well, you don't launch a service like this unless you know institutions want it. And we know institutions want it, especially in China and Europe. Bang! So look, let's read about it. According to a December 9th press statement, December 9th? What the fuck is this? Holy shit. Oh, this is from 2020? Lame. Holy, this is an old article. All right. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to switch out that article. We're going to do another article. We are going to do another article. Oh, actually, like that. All right, we'll do the article that I talked to you about earlier. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize this was such an old piece of shit article. Some miscreant sent it to me. All right, let's switch up and let's go. Bye. Yeah. So let's talk about the ISO 20022 right now. All right. But anyways, you see the custody thing, right? Standard & Chartered. So if that was in 2020, that means that's already going. And so it's still good, obviously, because the custody is going. All right. So look, VeChain, Cardano, Stellar, Verge, and Algo are ISO 20022 compliant and ready to conquer the $1 trillion international payments market. Bang! Man, I'm really sorry about that, guys. I usually check the dates on articles. I don't know how that slipped through my protocol right there. So this is great, though. So I know all of you, if you're into the nerd techie part of crypto, well, you know what ISO 20022 is, baby. All right, it's the gold standard. It's the gold standard of standardization, right? Saying that you're part of the standard. Right, I believe ISO stands for International. Well, let's read that. Let's find out. What does ISO stand for? Let's do a little research, brothers. Right, International Standards Organization, I believe, but. Oh, okay, well, whatever. International Organization for Standardization. So, yeah, ISO is like, USB ports, right? A USB port on your laptop is the same in America, is the same in Canada, is the same in Germany, is the same in all of Europe, is the same in all of Britain, is same in Japan, same in Brazil, same in Kenya, same in Saudi Arabia, same in fucking North Korea, right? That's the standard, right? USB, Universal Serial Bus. Yes, well, that's what USB stands for, Universal Serial Bus. It's standard. So that's what ISO standards are. So these blockchains have a standard, and it's the 20,022 compliance standard that they're all compliant with. So let me get a sip and we'll read about them. So, this allows them, here it is right here. So let's look at the byline on the left. Right down here on the bottom left. 5 major cryptocurrencies have secured ISO 20022 compliance, potentially enabling them to be recognized by centralized banks. Bang. All right. So as you all know, if you're into the tech of crypto, the ISO, we're still reading the byline, a little bit below where I highlighted. The ISO 20022 standard is geared to revolutionize the global payment sector with compliant crypto poised to enter the financial institutions' databases. Right? Because they're up to standard. So that's compliance. They're compliant. Right? Let's read on. In a world rapidly transitioning toward financial standardization, ISO 20022 emerges as the future of modern payments. This evolution sees Ripple's pioneering this transition as they become an instrumental member of the ISO 20022 standard body with a focus on distributed ledger technology, DLT. Stellar, evolving from the Ripple protocol, showcases a vision of seamless financial integration. Stellar aims to create a global network that connects financial institutions, payment processors, and individual users. Its core Lumens cryptocurrency aids this vision, providing a platform for easy international value exchange. Algorand, redefining decentralized applications. Algorand stands as a beacon of scalability and security in the crypto realm. One of Algorand's key innovations is its proprietary consensus mechanism, pure proof of stake. This mechanism ensures swift transaction confirmations while bypassing the need for resource-intensive mining. Cardano. So we're going through, obviously, each crypto that is 20,022 standard. Merging research and blockchain. Cardano, a blend of research and practicality, is pushing the envelope of what blockchain can achieve. Cardano focuses on scalability, sustainability, and interoperability to address the limitations of existing blockchain technologies. Through its ADA token, it offers an active role in the network's evolution and governance. Verge, prioritizing user anonymity. Verge places user privacy at the forefront of its operations. Verge's primary goal is to offer a decentralized and private digital currency that enables individuals to conduct transactions without revealing their identities. While these cryptocurrencies are designed for global accessibility, facilitating their ISO 20022 compliance, it's essential to remember that compliance does not automatically deem them wise investment options. For instance, despite Ripple's active role, its potential drawbacks have led to criticism. Well, they're under investigation and they're in a court. But the other ones aren't. As we advance, the list of ISO 2022 compliant cryptocurrencies is bound to expand, heralding a bright future. Heralding a bright future for blockchain in the mainstream financial landscape. Bang! So there you go, guys. So this is what I was going to read you tomorrow, but because that other thing was so old, we moved on from there, and so These guys are 20,022 compliant already, guys. And so you want to look at that because that's the kind of thing that masters are going to look at. Well, their analysts are going to look at. Yeah, So I'm not saying go buy them or they're great or anything, but remember, Stellar is used by MoneyGram worldwide. Cardano is run by Hoskinson, a PhD. I don't know much about Virgin Algorand, but they got their standard up, so bang. All right, let's get to the shout outs. Bang. Look. Whoops. Where's everybody? Here they are. What do we got? DP Entertainment. Look. So, brother. Letter with the C, brother. Bang. Airdropper. Son of a bitch. Look. Bang. Look. Bang. Look. Bang. He's got the chicken. Bang, though. Even though he's got the chicken, he still gets bang. Airdropper. Well, there's not much to talk about today, airdropper, so I'll see you later, brother. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang. Son of a bitch. Yes, I almost forgot that part. That's the most important part. Son of a bitch. That's the most important part. You know what you did. You know what you did back then. What's that movie? I Know What You Did Last Summer. I know what you did in 2018. You son of a bitch. All right, look. Universal Misanthrope, holding down our insurgency in Central Europe. Grill Master, CB News head of security, and just all-around good guy. Here's the chicken. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang. M. Rosser, Eve. Look, it's been a long time since I've seen you, brother. Good to see you're still hanging around. Look. You know the brother. Yeah, you just come around when the money's coming in. Right? This motherfucker here only comes around when the crypto's going up nicely. Right? Yes. Well, of course, you should, brother. You should. Because you're getting the full chicken right here. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang! You know you are. All right, what else we got? This guy, I don't know who he is, but maybe you'll subscribe. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang! Van Brienen! Okay, not today, though. We're not going to do a full Van Brienen. Van Brienen! Love you, brother. See you, brother. And Kitty Van Brienen. Bang! Not tonight, though. Not tonight. Look, Edwin, crazy Edwin. Here's my brother from another mother, the official mascot of CB News. Crazy Edwin. Oh, yeah. He's crazy. He's not MAGA crazy, but close. Real close. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang! But he's a warrior. Oh, yeah. Slappy. Holding down our insurgency in the Great White North. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang! You can refer to him as him or it. He's not offended. Look! Those are his pronouns. But don't fuck around or you'll find out. He'll bonk you. Boops. Bonk. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Bang! Slappy. And I notice you're interacting in the chat lately. Nice. Good to see you there, man. Everyone loves when Sloppy's around. All right? We all love Sloppy. Kenneth Hines. Love you, brother. See you, brother. Smarty Pants. Bang! And he is the chicken. Yes. All right. Uh-oh. Sunny Bee. Spy Lady. The Assassin. Love you, lady. See you, lady. Bang! We'll hold off on the assassin stories for today, brothers. You know I can think of them, but not today. Victor, love you, brother. See you, brother. He is the chicken. Bang! What is this chicken thing? If you know this channel, let me tell you something. In life, sometimes you get the chicken, sometimes you only get the feathers. Well, my crew, we were here for chicken. So, figure it out. All right, let's just get back to the Death Star. That's everybody right there. Bye. Welcome back, everybody. All right. So, good to see you all back. Where are we here? There we are. Bang. All right. Back on the camera. All right. So, look. Let's go through these stories and let's wrap this puppy up. IOTA and Skyla DB for supply chain digitization. And so, it's the same thing that VeChain does, but, where the grapes, for a bottle of wine, where the grapes were grown, when they're picked, when they're juiced, how long they've been stored, in what temperature, da 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 da. But so provenance, remember that word, provenance, right? Provenance, just like in the art world, provenance proves that something is the legitimate item, right? So think of the art world, provenance. And that's what IOTA is going to do. And but it's like on a bigger scale. Like, so this IOTA thing is not like the Chainlink thing, the VeChain ones, where VeChain is partnering with, well, they're partnering with individual companies, but also with Walmart that makes their people use the VeChain thing if you want to sell it in Walmart China. But this is more like was what I'm viewing. So this is just my opinion, guys. And I'm sure I'm right, is that this is more governmental level. Like I said, if you've got a shipment of, so first of all, let's talk about the benefits of this partnership right here. Is that for people who are importing and exporting stuff, yeah, it'll be a one-stop shop. Bang, click a button, fill out a couple forms, done. Right? We read about it. You know, there's 200 interactions, like 93 forms you have to fill out. Like I told you, my family, we export mangoes and sugarcane to America, Canada, and Great Britain. And trust me, if you sat down with my uncles for an hour to hear the horror stories, you would understand how great this is, how great a solution like this. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is that this is not a solution looking for a problem. This has been a fucking problem since I can ever remember, every Christmas. And finally, a solution has arrived in the form of IOTA and Scala DB here. So this is great news, great news, great news. You know, just in terms of getting supply chains functioning. And remember this, that this is for the East African region. We read about IOTA getting in there a couple years ago, and now, well, here it is. They're doing it. And so this is great. So IOTA is going to provide the tech, the back-end tech. Scala is going to store all the certifications and blah, 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 blah. And they're going to make this thing work, which is great. You know, keep supply chains rolling and make it easy for someone to get their goods to market. And again, like I said before, you know, if you're selling guns on the black market, yeah, well, you got to show provenance. Eventually you will. I mean, they're going to get to scam their way through for now, but eventually, you know, a gun runner is not going to be able to hide his guns as a shipment of potatoes. Right? Have you ever seen the movie Lord of War with, what the fuck is that guy's name? The guy who did Face Off. Fuck, what's that guy's name? The actor. Fuck, you know him though. He's famous, right? Him and John Travolta did that movie Face Off. Well, that guy, he made a movie called Lord of War. And it's about a real Russian arms dealer. In fact, do you remember the basketball girl here in America? The basketball girl who was put in the Russian prison and she was traded for someone? Yeah, that's the guy that the movie was made about. That's him. Yeah, it's real. And anyways, he would ship guns and bombs and missiles and fucking RPGs and shit to countries in Africa and around the world. And he would like bullshit, right? Like watch the movie Lord of War. Okay? Lord of War. What the fuck is that actor's name? Fuck, I can't remember his name. And he, forget the actor, but the real guy, he would say a shipment of grenades was, a shipment of potatoes. Yeah, and well, right, when you go to the border crossing, well, those border guards and border agents, they only inspect about 2% of all the fucking containers going into a place, right? And so, you might get caught, but probably not, right? It's a 98% chance you won't. If 100% is 100% and they're only checking 2% of all the containers, that means you have a 98% chance that your shipment will get through. Watch that, Lord of War. And well, with something like IOTA, what they're doing right now, that's not going to happen, because on that container will be the provenance of what the fuck is in that container, which will all have been already verified on the blockchain. Well, on the Tangle. IOTA is a Tangle. It's not a blockchain. It's far superior to the blockchain. And trust me, it's far superior to the blockchain. And, that's how it's going to be. So a gun runner won't be able to say, oh, yeah, that's a shipment of potatoes. They're going to be like, well, we just scanned this and there's nothing coming up as potatoes. Like, we're going to have to inspect this motherfucker here. Oh, busted, right? So IOTA is going to not only solve crime, and also it said the thing about it'll help with sustainability and environmental stuff, blah, 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 blah. All the good stuff for humanity and stuff like that. And so that's great. And so IOTA hodlers, bang! All right, next story. DTCC and Chainlink, capital markets and tokenization on the chain, right? And so, like I said, in the future, you're going to have your Tesla shares right here on your ledger. Yes, this is a pack of cigarettes, but imagine it's ledger. Since I have it in my hand, why not indulge a little bit? And so, right, that's the tokenization of Earth. I mean, I've told you before, I want to see property tokenized, and I actually do have a property tokenization story I'm going to do tomorrow. And, because people get their land ripped off and stuff like that. Anyway, we're not going to get into all of it. But, tokenization of everything. Your car will be tokenized. Bang! Your house will be tokenized. Bang! Your fucking baby will be tokenized. Bang! Although they are already tokenized because they have a social insurance number, don't they? Or a social security number, don't they? Well, that's tokenization. Bang! That's a unique ID, a unique number. Yeah. Your baby's already an NFT. But a proper tokenization of the baby. Bang! Tokenize that ass. Bang! Right? And so lock. Settle down, everybody. So DTC, let's get back to this though, but DTCC and Chainlink. So this is back-end infrastructure stuff now. We're talking big back-end shit, right? DTCC, remember, I read that story from DTCC's own website. And they said, yeah, when we saw Swift and Chainlink getting together, look, dog, we had to see what we could do with Chainlink. And they figured out some use cases. Remember, we read those use cases. Right? This is not, Chainlink is not a solution looking for a problem. It's a problem. And motherfuckers are like, yo, Chainlink can solve that. Daggone right they can, you miscreant. Bang! Hook! Bang! To the rescue, fuckstick. You didn't know already? Well, they know now. They fucking know now. Swift knows now. DTCC knows now. And now they've called Chainlink. Chainlink, can you help us? Of course I can, miscreant. Bang! Daggone miscreants, of course I can. You even ask a question like that. Lead me to your server farm. And so that's amazing. That's amazing. Just the tokenization of everything. And so, bang, Chainlink hodlers. And like I said, Chainlink hodlers. Like I said, this is not financial advice. This is just the opinion of the presenter. But if you own Chainlink, don't be afraid to get more. If you think you're priced out, think again. Think hard. All right. And I'll leave it at that. This is just my opinion. Bang, not financial advice. All right. And then finally, Standard & Chartered crypto custody. And so, well, to have a market, you got to have someone holding your shit. You got to have someone holding the chicken. All right. That's how it works. Right? Your stocks aren't literally with your bank. They're in a server farm in, fucking Utah. Yeah, your shit is not literally around the corner at your bank, right? When you're using your Charles Schwab account or your TD Ameritrade account or whatever like that. It doesn't work like that. Your shit is custodied somewhere. Well, where's it custodied? Could be fucking anywhere. wherever they found a cheap server farm with good tax incentives or whatever, probably. And so, right, Austin, Texas is the one I've always heard. Not always heard, but I know a lot of custody goes on in Texas because they give those guys tax deals or whatever. And so, but anyway, but that's where your money and the people who know what you actually own is in custody, right? And so, while Standard Charter wants to offer crypto custody, and what's good for that is, so this Standard and Charter thing, it's for institutional investors. So this doesn't really apply to you and I, but this is for institutional investors. But oh, my bad, we didn't even read that, right? Because it was in 2020. Well, I'll just talk about it anyway. Just fuck, since we're here. Standard Chartered, and so they're offering cryptocurrency, and that is going to allow hedge funds and all these Mazdas to be confident to get their shit custodies. Okay, but then the other story I did read to you was, oh yeah, VeChain, Cardano, Stellar, Verge, and Algorand are ISO 20022. All right. So, and that's just great news on that level. Standardization, like I told you, a USB port is a standard. It's an ISO number, blah, 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 whatever, XYZ 1231234, right? And that's what these guys are, they've got their standard. They've meeting the criteria. And so, these are trusted, standardized, regulated, ready to go with the banks and everything, right? Like, the banks aren't going to be worried about ISO 20022 standard. Bang. So there you go, guys. All right, that's it for today. Now let's talk about, so look, on that note, let's shill it and kill it. Let's get you back to your wives and lives. Now, I noticed that some people said that they pressed the subscribe and the notification, but they're not getting notifications. So just save my channel. I mean, obviously, when you subscribe, you'll save it, but just come back. You'll see a little red dot when I do a new video, and just, if they're not giving you the notification when I do the video, then just press the little, press my icon, and you'll come to my videos, and then go to the video section, and you'll see all the content that I produce. Okay, guys? Yeah, it's weird, man. YouTube kind of cut a whole bunch of people off. Of my videos anyway. I don't know, but they're trying to get me to do some AI thing. I might do it. We'll see. But anyways, though, fuck all that. Enough of that talk. Let's chill it and kill it. Let's get you back to your wives and lives. Bang! Subscribe below and press the bell. You'll get an automatic notification when I do the show. The greatest show on earth. Bang! Greatest show. In the multiverse. Bang! My name is Shomari Clarke, and I love talking money. Bang! And I love talking crypto. Bang! This is the favorite time of my day. So look, thank you for having me in your home, and I'll see you next time for another fun fact-filled day of crypto talk. But until then, subscribe here and press the bell. Watch that video there and get your mind right, because it's wrong right now. But get it right, and I'll see y'all next time. Look, my name's Shomari Clarke. I love talking money, and I love talking crypto. Thankfully for you, fuck stick. Wow. Good old Shomari's always on duty, isn't he? Look, I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Oh, and these gains are nice. Let's enjoy them. Bang. Yes. Over and out.